Polite inquiries, George's Edgbaston. Rod Stud says, will Clarke still be captain of Australia come the Oval?
Yeah.
Yes, he will be.
Maybe not afterwards.
But it is a very good question because we are getting to that point where it's getting odd.
They're not going to sack him.
No.
He's
probably not going to quit.
And he probably won't quit until the end of the series.
But his form is a massive concern.
I'm not massively sure they're a united squad.
He's obviously in horrendous form and questions need to be asked. And as Shane Warne said, you can't drop a captain unless he's Alistair Cook. Sean Warne says, should we be surprised with Australia's batting performance or are they flat track bookies?
Flat track bookies?
They're
what are you suggesting?
Flat track bookies.
They're not, look,
bullies.
Flat track bullies is strong and over the top. But, you know, clearly there's an element of that. Aren't all batsmen going to be better on flat tracks?
Warner said this was a really good batting track and they should have made more runs. So
It's a really good wicket. Some of the skills, I think, have gone out of the game a bit. And we don't see many leaves. We don't see many defensive
Wait a minute,
shots.
we saw Australia leave 3 balls and go out.
And they were so bad at it that they managed to edge the balls they were leaving.
Sard says, was that Voger's last test inning? Don't at him in that. He doesn't want to hear that.
Oh, there's no need for that.
It might be the last time he ever plays test cricket. And it'd be a shame.
We're not now going to send him that clip, are we? That's just kind of trolling. It's bullying.
He's a quality player. They've taken a bit of a risk on him. He's 35 and he's failing. There's a chance they might get rid of him. Nicholas Charlin said, Jimmy will be okay, right?
I don't think he will, no. I suspect
He'll never play again.
I suspect we've seen the last of him this series.
Oh.
If it's a side strain, they tend to be 6 weeks, don't they?
It actually might be interesting if England win this, how much of an impact he'll make not playing, because they just got their 3 dream bowlers together, all in form, all looking good.
He has an amazing fitness record. At some stage they were going to have to peek into the future. Maybe that moment's now. English
Nick says, how bad financially is a 2 or 3 day match for Warwickshire? Now I'll ask you this because you're on the board here.
I don't think it's going to turn them to Christ or cocaine, but obviously there is a bit of a fall. They've insured against all ticket sales and bar takings and catering, but hospitality they have to refund. And because not that many people will come tomorrow, but some will, they can't claim on the insurance.
I don't think they can be blamed for it. This is definitely not a minefield. This is not a pitch that should be going 7 sessions.
Both sides say it's a good pitch.
John Hughes says, if Moeen keeps shaping games with the bat, does it matter that he's picked as a bowler? Yes.
Yeah, it does. I'm sorry to say it does, because I love watching Moeen.
2 really important number 8 innings, though, and it might be the difference in this series.
He's the second highest scorer in the England side in this series.
There's going to be times when, if he is picked as one of the 4 frontline bowlers and he's not up to it, it's going to be a problem. But it's not a problem today. Graham Hodinot says, did Australia pick the wrong Marsh? No, they didn't. They need an all-rounder. They picked an all-rounder. Sean Marsh is not the answer to any question I'm aware of. Mitchell Marsh is, at this stage, in development. He's got a lot of talent. He's going to have a lot of bad days, and he did miss a straight ball by about 1.5 feet.
I don't understand why everyone's not in love with Mitchell Marsh. I just think he's kind of a beautiful cricketer.
Nandy says,
does
this test prove that South Africa are head and shoulders above the rest?
South Africa, right now, are probably the most overrated. Have you seen their batting lineup?
Over the last 2 or 3 years, yes, because they've won.
Okay, so if you go back to a side which still had Callis and Smith in it, yeah, they're really good.
They went away from home.
I don't know if you noticed. They're not there. They are overrated, partly because they play so rarely and partly because people have forgotten half of them are retired.
Bob Willis's chin says, is it possible that neither of these teams is particularly good, exacerbated by Australia being away from home? Yeah, I think Australia is probably a slightly better team, but in England they're not. I don't think England would do very well if they were playing in Australia either.
Yeah, I agree with that. England look to be at the start of their life cycle and Australia maybe look as if they're at the end of theirs. There are some good young players in both sides, but there are quite a few players who are really near the end of the Australian side.
Sam says, Dale Steyn reaches 400 test wickets at a strike rate 41, amazing strike rate. Do Anderson and Johnson merit mention in the same breath?
Well, they're different.
Johnson at his best, you just sit back and watch. Steyn is an amazing creature, and Anderson in proper conditions is phenomenal.
Anderson in English conditions is wonderful.
If you were just picking someone for one spell, you pick Johnson, don't you? Just to watch him, the scariness and everything.
There's no one in the world. I think he's the best sight in cricket in the world at the moment. I think every ball he bowls is riveting. He's a breath of fresh air for cricket. And there's no one... You didn't clean your teeth this morning, did you?
We'll see you tomorrow.
I don't mean a word of it.